Welcome and Happy New Year. This is Boston Jimmie, and I just hope everybody had a really good New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Welcome to season 3 of Taking It to the Nub. Going on 3 years with this amazing run we've been having. It's been enjoyable for me to bring you content, to bring you personalities in the cigar industry. We're going to do a lot more of that through 2022. But tonight's show is going to focus on a number of things. The first thing I want to focus on is this is our 8th year in Stogie Press. We're going into year 8. I'll be kicking it all off with some events that I'll be going to in the very, very near weeks. To begin with, we're going to start off with the cigar media event, Destination Herf. Destination Herf is a cigar herf going on in Miami, Florida. Destination Herf has been going on for a while. This year it starts on January 13th. And it's going to run to the 16th. So Friday and Saturday are big events. Let me just give a quick share here so you can get an understanding of this. The Destination Herf, it's 11 days, 22 hours, 36 minutes, and 9 seconds away. All right. This is sponsored by Uncle Nearest, Ancestry Cigars, Dallas Leaf, Arizona, lipsticks and fingertips, and Caldwell Cigars, and Alex Spencer Cigars, by the way, who made my list this year with his Manza. This event is I'm actually honored by them because they have presented to me, and will at a awards dinner. I'll be receiving the Cigar Media of the Year award. I give a lot of awards out every year, and I have to be honored that somebody's going to give me something, which is very, very cool. It's not something I expect. I do all of this out of the passion of what I do, cigar smoking. And it's just really nice to be recognized. And I know those that I've recognized, I think, feel the same. So we've had a great year. We should talk about another thing we did this year, or I did. Remember a little while back, it was the Cigar Smoking World Championship. Remember that event? Cigar Smoking World Championship is run every year. It's going into its 12th year, starting 2022. And I'm going to tell you, I think this is going to be expanded into more shops than there were last year. Last year there were 13 shops. This year, I'm hoping there will be more. I'll be talking to the organizers to see what other shops in the country are going to be running this competition here in the United States. But this is last year. This is 2021. This is the champion Ryan Janis from Buffalo, and myself at Rocky Patel's Burn Lounge in Pittsburgh at the U.S. National Finals. Yeah, he beat me by millimeters, man. My cigar went out just about a millimeter or two before his. And he ended up going to Croatia to represent the United States in the Cigar Smoking World Championship. This is an absolute fun event for anybody who wants to join. Just you sit down, who could smoke the cigar the longest? We have so much fun doing this. This is the first time I did it, and I'm going to do it again this year. It was just a pleasure to be part of a group of incredible people and brothers and sisters of the Leaf as we went through this journey. There's our friend Fred Rui was in the pack. So at the end, there we are. we finished. It was a wonderful event, and it'll start off with an event at your local shop if they hold it. And then the winners of those shops go to Pittsburgh or maybe another Rocky Patel lounge. I don't know. Maybe he moves it around. We'll see what happens next year. But last year it was in the Rocky Patel Burn Lounge in Pittsburgh. So yeah, so that was a fabulous event. Yeah, so I came in second on that. So Cigar Meat of the Year, #2, longest cigar smoker in the United States. Not a bad start to going into my 8 years on Stogie Press. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm glad I can bring you lots of great content. If you want to join on this show right now, if you want to come in, I welcome you. If you send me if you message me on Facebook, okay, I will send you a link to the show and you can come on and we'll just continue this show. We're going to learn about top cigars of the year and other things like top lounges and some of the other cool lifestyle things that were going on through the year. We could discuss that if you wish. So this is open to anybody who wants to come on. Just let me know. I'll be checking my my Facebook feed here to see if anybody is looking to join. And let me just open this up. So right now, nobody's looking to join. That's okay. I'll continue the show. So some other things that we did last year was a number of events. I mean, events are quite popular in the cigar culture. It was always harder when we were dealing with a pandemic, and well, there weren't a lot of them. A lot of them got canceled, but I did have the opportunity to get over to the Eboard City Heritage Cigar Festival. The Eboard City Heritage Cigar Festival was probably one of the largest festivals here in the United States. Outdoor festival in the city of in Eboard City. It brought out people from all around. Lots of vendors, lots of small, large manufacturers and brand owners. We had such a great time there. So if you've never been to the Eboard Cigar Festival, the Heritage Festival, I do highly recommend it. There was just a lot of fun. I mean, we had La Ferrona Cigars was there, Rolling Cigars, small boutique company right there in Ybor City. Just the food was spectacular. I mean, go look at some of the food down here. Just look at the paio. That's just amazing. The grilled meats, the barbecues, the food was incredible. The band was great. They had numerous music acts, particularly they featured this Orchestra Fuego, which is a Grammy award-winning group, Latin Grammy Awards. They were nominated for that. Of course, you get lots of roosters. So we had a really good time there. A lot of good familiar faces you'll find. I mean, just so much fun. And Ybor City is a great place to go visit if you're in the Florida area, to go check it out. So that was that was one of the events that I was able to go to. We didn't get a lot because like Drew Estate was going to do a bunch of events and they all got canceled because of the pandemic. All the barn smokers got canceled, and the big 25th anniversary down in Dallas, Texas got canceled. So maybe some of this will all come back this year. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep all informed. That's what my job is here to do. There were a number of shops. Now, you might have just seen I put out the list of my top shops. There were 9 lounges that I was able to get to in 2021. Well, I shouldn't say 9. There were 7. There were 2 in 2020, but that was in the beginning before the shit hit the fan. So I did go to 7 in 2021, but I included the other 2 because it's only right, because they shouldn't have failed because of a pandemic. So I included them in the list in my ranking. And when it was all said and done, if you haven't seen the article on that, this is my top 5 out of those 9. These are my top 5 lounges I went to this year. And just so you know, the way I do this is I actually have a system where I rate the lounges, and I've been doing this since 2018. And I give value points for things like cleanliness and humidor size and selection, how inclusive it is, and the ambiance of the environment, the hours of operation, the attentiveness of the staff, and the knowledge, the events, the membership program that they have, and whether it's valuable or not to the consumer, and what kind of selection do they have for beverages. And basically, I put the biggest weight on the humidor because we buy cigars there. That's why we go to lounges and shops. So if you got a good selection, that's a pretty high point value. And then I weight the cleanliness the second, because I like clean lounges, and I think we all do. And then we go down to attentiveness and inclusiveness, and then what kind of events, hours of operation, bar selection, and membership after that. So this year, Executive Cigar Shop and Lounge, a sister lounge to my local one here, is getting the award for my #1 cigar lounge. They're based in Sanford, Florida, and it is a spectacular lounge. If you look at the article we wrote in here, they have this huge outdoor patio. They always have music acts on it. It's an extremely well laid out, clean, very clean lined interior. It's got a very glossy cement floor. The bar has got this beautiful lighting on it. It's well stocked, all kinds of high end spirits and wines, and some tap beers. A very nice humidor. And it is a place where you really want to go check this one out. You don't see it in here, but looking out these windows out the back is Lake Monroe in the Sanford area. So this is a ginormous lake. So this just looks out over the lake. It's right across the road from the lake. So magnificent lounge, just absolutely beautiful place to go hang out. Very friendly people. Everybody's having a good time there. So they scored the highest of the points. The other ones that came in on this, the second one was a place called R Cigars Special in Nashville, Tennessee. And that one was one I stumbled upon on a trip to Nashville early in the year. And this is just another amazing lounge. It's just this really interesting place where you it's located in what's called south of Broadway, which is Sobro. And as you go in there, there is a big patio in the back, and there's this little door right here. You walk in. I mean, it's just this kind of looks like a speakeasy at first. But once you walk into the lounge, it just opens up in front of you with this magnificent bar they have with really aged whiskeys, some very rare whiskeys they have. The humidor is just ginormous, lots of selection. They have cabinets outside the humidor with additional selections in there with very special cigars. There's an upstairs seating area that looks out and down over the bar area. And then there's a members only lounge area that is just pretty amazing. I mean, it's 24/7 access. You get access to kitchen there. They've got their own filtration rabbits in every room. There's different rooms that you can sit in, so you have a lot of space for little private areas that you want to go. So it's a very cool place to go, and that came in as number 2. And then running down the list, there is Smoke Rings in Merritt Island, and you can read the article on that. Another new shop located in Merritt Island, Florida, owned by Louis Raposta. He's had the Smoke Ring going on for a long time in a mall, and he's since moved it into a brand new facility, and it's absolutely stunning going in there. Very spacious with some really interesting things, like a complete coffee bar he has. It's like walking into Starbucks, one part of it, and a big huge pool table in the middle by the bar, and huge seating areas. Of course, number 4 came in as Grand Cathedral. Was there during the Heritage event. Grand Cathedral is located actually in Tampa Heights. It's the official place. It's just outside. It's just like a couple of roads outside of Eboard City. But another spectacular lounge to go to. And then lastly is the Continental Cigar Club in Los Angeles, California, which is unique unto itself. Okay. If you think about Continental and you think like John Wickish stuff, yeah, it's kind of like that. You get there's like a little secret passageway to get into the members only lounge, and there's coin. You can get a coin that gives you access to it, but you gotta like get that coin from maybe a concierge in a hotel, where they hand you the gold coin, and that gold coin gets you a house cigar and an entrance into the members lounge area to check it out. It's a very cool concept he has going. This is from Patrick Potter. It's a place that if you're ever in LA, you got to check it out. Okay, it's just a fun place to go. So those are lounges that I hit. There are a number of others that I went to. You can go into the lounge area on Stogie Press, and you can see the reviews we do on those. We will be doing more of those lounge reviews now that things seem to be a little more normal than they've been in the past. Hopefully 2022 brings us a good time and something that we can actually get out and get around with each other and enjoy life. So another thing that I'll be doing, in addition to Destination Herf, is obviously TPE. So TPE kicks off in the 3rd week of January. TPE being the Tobacco Plus Expo. That kind of kicks off on the 19th of January and goes through the 21st. Kicks off the 26th of January and goes through the 28th. I'll actually be flying out there on Saturday the 22nd, so I'll be for the whole week. I'm going to try to hit some cigar lounges in Las Vegas, other than 2 that I've probably been to in the past with some friends, not really to do reviews, but just to party at. I'm going to do official business there and actually do some reviews of lounges. So if you have any recommendations for Las Vegas lounges, let me know, and I'll make sure I hit those up to go visit. Let's see who's on right now. So let's see. Jeff Walsh, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Michael Balfenstein, yes. Happy New Year, brother. Absolutely. Mickey Pegg, yes. Mickey Pegg, man. We're going to get to that in a second. Talk about our top cigars of the year. Chris Colter, yep. Thank you. Congratulations to everybody who made the list and those that made the top. And Happy New Year to you. Tyler Garcia, evening, welcome. Yes, Chris Colter, NFG 22, don't forget. Yeah, that's another one. So Fort Worth, Texas, NFG 22, NFG, well, I'm just going to say it right here loud and clear. It means no fucks given. NFG is an event down at the Underground Cigar Lounge in Fort Worth, Texas. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get myself back down there now that everything's kind of settled. Grab an airplane ticket and fly in, hang out with my Dallas friends for sure. Um, Gary Smith, man, hey, happy New Year, brother. How are you? Um, so yeah, so that's the thing I'm going to be doing in January. So that's going to book out. We're going to continue to have the taking it to the nub episodes. Okay, like we're doing now. We have some good guests coming on next week. We have I'll announce that in a moment when I get into the top cigars. But we'll also have other personalities, some that you may know, some that you may not. We always like to keep it interesting as we progress through the year. If you get any recommendations for guests, just let me know. See if we can get them on. Don't make it too hard because sometimes I don't think I can have Sylvester Stallone on, or Schwarzenegger, but hey, I can try, right? If he's listening, you're listening out there. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. And that's where we're going to be going. Don't forget, we'll also continue to have our Wheel of Wonderfulness. I mean, how great is that? I mean, how many? Do you know that I probably gave away? I didn't do the official math on it, but roughly about $3,000 worth of cigars last year. Okay, were prizes on the Take It to the Nub Wheel of Wonderfulness. $3,000 worth of cigars, not to mention some of the swag that was given away on top of that. So congratulations to everybody who's paid attention to that. Congratulations to anybody who's won it and won it more than once. Some of you out there watching, I know you won it more than once. So hey, all the power to you because you're paying attention. So yeah, we're going to continue that as we go through 2022. It's my pleasure to make sure that you get some of the finest cigars you can enjoy and check them out. Sometimes I have things that you don't have or may never heard of, and you wonder, why is Jimmie talking about this cigar? Well, when you get it, you'll say, oh, that's why Jimmie's talking about this cigar. So we're going to continue expanding people's palates and thoughts on some of the fine cigars that are on the market, not just the big, but all the way to the smallest cigar companies out there. Did you guys watch that Notre Dame game today? If you're a Notre Dame fan, you got to be pulling your hair out right now. That was a heartbreak ending to a game. I just think you got to look to a new season and see what happens, because that was a heartbreaker. Sorry to my daughter, who's a big Notre Dame fan, and my son-in-law and my grandson. They all follow Notre Dame, and well, it didn't kind of work out for them this year. Maybe next year. But then maybe next year is the Miami Canes, and I'm a big Canes fan. So maybe they hired a very, very expensive coach. So if money talks, let's see them play football, because I'll be really upset if they hired somebody for all that money and they still can't get into a national game and they put academics aside for that. That would be horrible. Kevin Corblies, thank you for watching. Again, anybody that wants to come on and share some thoughts, the lines are open. I will send you I'll send you a link if you want to join. You just gotta send me a Facebook message. Chris Colter, yes, you've only recently discovered All Saints cigars, and they're definitely worth smoking and experiencing. Really nice, balanced, complex blends. Well, if you understand Mickey Pegg and his background, worked for Davidoff. He's been in the industry for quite some time. Mickey knows cigars. So to take on his own brand with some partners to do what he did only made sense that you should have some pretty memorable cigars coming out of that company and those collaborations. Not to mention he's picked some of the really good factories to work with, which is what you need to do. Speaking of cigars, and speaking of something decent, so I recently ordered and was able to get the two of the new Cigar Clowns Festivus cigar. So I haven't smoked this yet. This is the first one I'm smoking. So it's a bit of a peppery bomb to it right now, but pleasant. Got a nice burn to it. Nice wrapper. It's kind of a semi crisp box press. It's not like crisp edges, but not exactly a totally soft box press. So it's got a nice box press to it. Nice cigar so far. I'll get the stats on it later. I will be reviewing this one for the fun of it and see what happens. Let me take a fast break here. I'm going to quick shout out our sponsors for the show, because that's what we do here. We got to make sure that everybody knows who keeps taking the nub running along Saturday after Saturday. So today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars, La Jolla del Chan Cigars, and Rodriguez Cigars. Rodriguez Cigars is the oldest cigar factory in Key West. Founded in 1984, it was founded by the family that came from Cuba and had been growing tobacco in Cuba since 1947. So a generational family in the cigar industry. Once Cuban nationalized the business, they fled in 1971 and founded the Rodriguez Cigar Factory and Shop in 1984. It's the oldest manufacturer in the Keys, and it celebrates an industry there in that city that goes back to 1831. Rodriguez cigars are exclusively constructed with vintage leaves that have been hand-selected, aged, and constructed through the traditional Cuban manufacturing process. You can check out Rodriguez Cigars at www.rodriguezcigarskeywest.com. Also, Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova Cigars is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So next time you're looking for that exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And while you're at it, punch in the code BostonJimmie15 and you'll get 15% off your next order. And lastly, this show is brought to you by El Chan Cigars. El Chan Cigars is that dream come true for husband and wife Gabby, El Chan, and Liz. They want all the hands that work the tobacco leaf in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call it La Jolla del Chan because they cultivate part of their product and at some point want to be able to supply the world with their native tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those who work the tobacco leaf, and for this, they deserve a portal that represents them. And want to thank everybody for supporting their country of Puerto Rico. We will resist, they say. So you can follow them at lajolladelchan.com and on El Chan Cigars at Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank my sponsors. Without them, this show is always a little harder to do. All right. So let's get to the real topic of the day. Let's talk top cigars. Now, there's a lot of lists coming out. And before I even get into the Stogie Press top cigars of the year, I just want to say, pay attention to every list. And more importantly, and this is what I tell people every year, more importantly, pay attention to the cigars that are on the list that show up on multiple lists. Pay attention to the brands that show up on multiple lists, whether they're small or large. That will start to tell you, seriously, what cigars you probably want to enjoy that are on the market. Get out there and check them out. As far as the Stogie Press list every year, we try, but we don't always get every cigar that exists on the market. So sometimes we have cigars also that roll from year to the next. So not everything that's on the 2021 list came out in 2021. It happened to be something that I've rolled over from the previous year, most likely. Okay. And that's okay because they're out there. The cigars are available and you can find them, hopefully. Okay. Sometimes they're small. Sometimes they're small brands. And small brands don't make lots of cigars, so you got to hunt for them. But you could check out the brand owner himself, and maybe you'll be able to find out where you can get those cigars. We also do something uniquely different than all the other sites. We started this a few years ago. I felt that when I look at the landscape of the cigar industry, there are, break it down into three categories: large, medium, and small. The large brands, we tend to know who those are. Yeah, things like the Rocky Patel, Aroma de Cubas, the LFDs, the Drew Estates, the Ashtons, and so on and so forth. So those big ones with Davidoff falls in that, we kind of know those. All right. The small brands are a lot of these new brands that have come out in the last few years. Some of them made a stake and survived. Some came in and maybe they no longer exist. And I can go through a list and I could write an article that probably says over the last 8 years, here are brands that are no longer on the market that tried to make it in the market and they couldn't make it happen for many reasons. But those are the small companies. And then there are the ones that were in the small branded area that I felt that have grown. Companies like Southern Draw, definitely a medium-sized company. Okay. And others like that I put into those medium categories. Blackwork Studio, okay, is a medium-sized company to me. They have access to leaf sometimes they have their own factory. Sometimes they have the ability to have better collaborations, and there's a lot of reasons. So I have three categories: large, medium, small. And each of those, I select 15 cigars that I smoked over the year that I feel are candidates that go in that list. And then I go and I rack and stack them based on, number one is based on the ratings they got, because that's the most important part, right? Because if they're rated high, well, they are going to be at the top of the list. But a lot of times, the cigars that are rated high are tied with a lot of others. So there's a whole lot of like 94, 95s that fit in that category because they're the ones that are the most memorable to me. So those 15 is, the cut line this year. Actually, I'll be honest with you, when it came to the medium, I'll put it back. When it came to like the small category, nothing less than a 94 made the list. They were 94s and 95s primarily that made that. So these are all spectacular cigars that are on this list. It's just that I just felt one was a little better and more memorable than the other. And it's a very fine line, and that's a personal line on my part. And I actually went back and re-smoked because I had some left that I actually re-smoked some of them. They just No, there are some that I knew in my head. I said, no, that I remember that. That was a really great cigar. This other one had a fine cigar, but I smoked it again and I smoked another one and I was like, okay, well, this one's probably a little bit better than that one. And again, very personal preference. In the medium category, the cut line was at a 93. Okay. So the 93 is where it stopped on the 15. And on the large line, the cut line was a 91. All right. So that's transparency there. So that's where the end line was. So in the small category, pretty spectacular cigars. So we probably should talk a little bit about that. And let's just see what's going on. Jeff says, what about the CAO Flathead Mayan cigar that we reviewed? It didn't make it anywhere near the list. It didn't make it. To me, I know you like that cigar a lot, Jeff, but I'll be honest, when I smoked that cigar, I felt that that was obviously not in a 91 category. Okay. Daniel Neufeld, welcome to the show. Gary Smith says, smoke what you like. You're absolutely correct. Whatever you like, you smoke. Mark Bugs Moran, thank you for watching. Jerome Berry, Happy New Year, brother. Thank you. Thank you for watching. So if we go into the top lists, all right, so let's just break it down here now. So now you understand the background. The breakdown, small company. All right, big applause here. All Saints Fine Cigars, the St. Francis, Colorado Churchill by Mickey Pegg. This one actually stood out above all others in the small company category. And in fact, this one, while they were 94s and 95, this one hit the 96, so it was a clear winner. I'd have to think about this. And I smoked 5 of these cigars, at least, probably smoked 6 by now. I really like this cigar. He did an excellent job with this. It's an absolutely beautifully constructed cigar, carries a phenomenal ash on it, beautiful ash, great burn going through it. I can't talk enough about this cigar. Definitely worthy of being my number one in the small category. The breakdown of the rest of the field, these are no slouches, guys, girls. This is some spectacular craft out there. Small company out of Atlanta, ATL Cigar Company. Their magic is really, really spectacular. I smoked a few of those and I will go and get more of them too, because that's that good. Check it out if you haven't checked out ATL Cigar Company. We all know, and our friend Kevin Schweitzer from Rockefeller Cigars. Hey, he's got a magic too. It's called the Art of Magic. And this is the first one that he came out with, not the second one. So this is not the Cameroon. I have not officially smoked and reviewed the Cameroon yet. So that will be on my list of reviews for 2022. But for 2021, that Art of Magic was just, I love that cigar. I think he did a really good job. When I think about his cigars, and I think about the Lancero that he had, was incredible. The Gold, another great cigar, but this Art of Magic is right up there with them. Another one that comes into play is Alex Spencer. Alex Spencer Reserve. This is the Manza. That thing is just chocolate and goodiness and all kinds of fruit and just a delicious cigar. The Isabella Pepperhead Gordo came in at number 5. The Tobacco Trading Company, Milk and Honey. Again, here's a cigar, unique cigar. He is a mad scientist when it comes to blending cigars, Patrick Potter. That Milk and Honey is very unique. It is aptly named because you're going to get a lot of cream notes in it and you're going to get honey notes. And it is just a cigar you just want to smoke every day in the morning, just with your cup of coffee. Is spectacular. So that came in at number 6. Number 7 is the Adventura Cigars, the Navigator Francis D. Corona. Number 8, another company that some may not know of, is the R Cigars, down in Miami, Florida. Okay, Rob Robinson, okay, his company. That came in, the Barber Pole Robusto, was my number 8. Martinez Cigars in New York City, one of the oldest cigar, probably the oldest cigar factory running in New York City, right there in Manhattan, okay, is the Patrimonio Brazilian Araparaka Torpedo. Yeah, they did a great job with that cigar. So, I mean, the one of the other ones I raved about years ago was the flat iron that came out of that factory. This one here, excellent. And it's all made here in the United States. So, number 10 is the GTO, Corona de GTO 10 Años Corojo. Don't lambaste me for this. I know someone's going to tell me it was a 2019 cigar. I didn't get it till 2020, late 2020. So it went into my 2021 cycle. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. I had to talk about that cigar. I think it was an excellent cigar coming out of Dr. Rodriguez. Tarazona Cigars, okay, the Benjamins Carabella 828 Silverback Edition Limitada is number 11. Number 12 is the HVC Hot Cake Lagrito number 5. Yeah, kind of sounds like a dance tune, doesn't it? You know? No, that's another awesome cigar. Dean Parsons from Epic Cigars comes out with their 10-year anniversary, the Epic 10. Man, when I smoked that cigar, I kept saying to myself, this is just such a fine cigar. And, you know, sometimes you think that the cigar is just going to be the one, and others come in and they're just as good with some fine nuances and maybe some change, you know, something about the burn or something about the flavor profile was really good, but the other one edged it out a little bit. But that's not a slacker. If you can get your hand on the Epic 10, it is worthy of a top list. The Cigar Clowns, the Ron, okay, so they've had a number of drops over the year from the Cigar Clowns, including this Festivus. But the Ron, I think, was one of the most standout cigars that they had. And they did that in collaboration with AJ Fernandez. So you're getting a quality cigar in that one. And then Tobacco Trading Company hits it again with their second matcha, with the second Milk and Honey, which is the matcha. So they had a number of blends in that line. The original Milk and Honey, and then there was another one which had a Candela wrap on it, and that's the matcha Milk and Honey. It's actually designed to smoke with enjoying like a matcha green tea that you would get at, say, Starbucks. And then I have an honorable mention. This one here I kind of threw in here because this is a cigar that I had smoked before, but I was not able to take photos and do the notes on it, and it fell off the map. And then when I was at TPE this past year, I talked to the folks at Blackbird Cigar Company, and they were kind enough to get me another Jackdaw because it was a cigar that I liked. And I did go back and review that. So that it comes in as an honorable mention. By the way, it's also, this is a Connecticut, and this is one of my 94 rated Connecticut's. This is just chock full of flavor. I know it came out a year or so earlier, but I'm putting it in there as an honorable mention. They're readily available, so you can find them at any of the places that sell Blackbird cigars. So those are the small category. Okay, now we're going to go zip past the medium, and we're going to go to the large category. Why am I doing this? Because the medium is going to be the cigar of the year overall, and now we're going to leave that one to the end of the show. The large company category, my number one for that is the Drew Estate Undercrown 10 Toro. I love this cigar. When I got it, in an unbanded pre-release freestyle live package where everybody was guessing what it was. I knew it was like a San Andreas Mexican wrapper just by the feel and the look of it. So I kind of nailed that. And I also felt that it wasn't, everybody was thinking maybe it's going to be a new Liga Privada, this or Herrera Esteli. And I was like, well, it kind of smoked like a Liga Privada because it always pours the smoke off the foot, but it kind of didn't have the whole punch that the Liga normally gives you. So it was kind of more like an undercrown, but I didn't really say that. But when they announced it, I felt like, wow, that's exactly what I was thinking in a way. So yeah, I smoked it when they came out, and then I smoked them again. I really like this cigar. They did a great job on the packaging, but packaging to me doesn't score you points. It's just things you got to do and take off a cigar, and then eventually you throw it all away. But that's okay. Packaging is important for marketing, for shelf space, and how it pops. This was just a really, really nice cigar. I've been smoking these on a regular basis right now. I really do enjoy it. It's definitely a cigar I enjoy later in the day than in the early part of the day. So that's my number one large company cigar, number one large company for 2021. The rest of the field, the next one on the list, man, if you don't get this cigar also, go find it. The new La Roma de Cuba Pasión Encanto. This cigar, I mean, I love La Roma de Cuba cigars. I love the Mi Amors. I've always loved the Mi Amor. I was a guy that went into a humidor, and if everything that's on that shelf I probably touched once in my life, I was like, the Mi Amor. For some reason, I gravitate to that. It's an inexpensive cigar generally, and it is just a very consistently flavorful, well-behaved cigar. I smoked this one at the suggestion of my tobacconist here at Executive Cigar Lounge, Melbourne, and I was like, wow, this is a really, really nice cigar from La Roma de Cuba. And I bought some more, and I came back, and that's what I used for the review. So definitely worthy of my number two. The next number three came in at the Oliva V135 Perfecto. Great job from Oliva on this one. The way that is designed, that Vitola, it delivers the smoke different than any of the other Vitolas. It was just I think it's one of the best Series V cigars out there. Hoyo de Nicaragua came out with their Antaño Gran Reserva GT20. So that's another one that came out late in the year. So it kind of found its way into the market in 2021. This one I know everybody last year, man, raved about the Perez Carrillo, the Pledge and Pledge Sojourn, which is the Vitola I smoked. Yeah, this is a great cigar. There's no doubt about it. And I guess I didn't have it last year, right? So I had to smoke it this year. And I usually, if I don't have the cigar of the year that's in somebody else's list, I generally try to go out and get some of those, and I'll add them and see if they get added to my list in the following year. I'm not the big guys, right? So I get, sometimes I got to do it my own way. So I did get that cigar, and yeah, so it's my number five. A very worthy cigar. The Pledge Sojourn itself came in at a very admirable 95. So again, the Drew Estate came in at 96, and then the other ones were all tied in there at a 95. So I put the Sojourn right in the middle there. So the next one is the J.C. Newman, the American Double Robusto. Not a great cigar. That cigar, great story behind that cigar too. It's 100% American. All the tobacco, everything is all from here. They make it here. They make the boxes here in the United States. They make the bands here. They do everything here in the United States. This is 100% United States made. The American double Robusto. Check it out. Great cigar. El Artista with their Buffalo 10 natural box press. Another fine cigar. El Artista started getting into selling a lot of their own cigars a number of years ago. They are a very large factory and own their own fields. In the Dominican, they produce a lot of cigars for the smaller brands that you might be enjoying. So always keep an eye on El Artista. They're also the one that makes the Big Poppy cigar, which I absolutely enjoy that cigar too. So the Buffalo 10, number 7. Vega Fina 1998 VF54. VF54 is 54 ring gauge. Vega Fina 1998 comes in at number 8. The JFR Lunatic Hombre Libra came in at number 9. And the JC Newman, again, second on the list, the Perla Del Mar Corojo Toro. This is not the Corona. This is the Toro size. And I found the Toro to be much better than the Corona one. Okay, so I really enjoyed this cigar. Aganorsa comes in with the Rare Leaf Reserve Titan. Surprisingly large cigar, surprisingly well behaved. I just love when I can get a larger engaged cigar and it doesn't go all wonky on me. Okay, so it burned beautiful. It was extremely well constructed, great flavor all the way through. The Trinidad Espirito Series number 2 Robusto came in at number 12. That comes out of Altadis, USA. Trinidad, USA is some subsector of it. The Alec Bradley Project 40 Maduro 5.50. Very interesting cigar, very low price cigar in comparison to some of these others, but definitely says that you don't always have to spend a lot of money to get a really fine cigar. And then Romeo and Julieta Eternal Toro comes in at 14, and the list finishes off the H. Upman 1844 Classic Connecticut Toro. Okay, another Connecticut that doesn't give you all the bite and craziness that you get sometimes in the Connecticut to turn people off. This actually was rather pleasurable Connecticut. So you could check out that. Let me just go back to the list here, see what people are talking about. And your new fellow, Bruce Stark, greetings, Earthlings. Yes, thank you, Bruce. Thank you for joining the show. Gary Smith says he's smoking an Epic Habano right now. Yes, Epic Cigars are fine craft. Ilana Applebaum, Happy New Year to you. Let me just go check on something here and see if anybody is asking to join the show and we can have conversation. But no, everybody's so shy to join in. Put your word out there. Interesting. All right, no problem. All right, so now let's get to the final category, the medium category. I saved it for last because the medium category is also when I pick the 3 cigars in each category, one of those 3 becomes my overall top cigar for 2021, okay, across it all. So that honor goes to Casa Cuevas. Okay, the Casa Cuevas Patrimonio Robusto Gordo. What a game changer this was for me this year. Smoking this cigar was, I mean, it is just an elegant smoke. I just enjoy. I smiled as I puffed after puff. I just was like, this is such a pleasurable cigar. Very relaxing moments with it. The flavors were just perfectly balanced throughout this blend. It was just magnificent with a beautiful ash, beautiful burn cone. I mean, literally that ash dropped once and then built back up again. That was it. Never ever had to put my flame to this, never touched it up, never even thought about it. All right. This is just a spectacular cigar. And if you have not got this yet, go out there and find this cigar and try it and tell me I'm wrong, because I don't think you're going to say that. This is, I was at my local shop the other day and they had just gotten these in. So I actually picked up another one to just sit there and enjoy it. And I'm going to tell you what this pairs well with. I paired one of these with a dirty martini, and it does pair well. If I'm going to go the alcohol way, it pairs really nice with like a martini because of the floral notes and stuff. It just went so well together because it's such a classic cigar. The blend is very classic. I'm telling you, it's just, it is the most memorable cigar I had this year, and that's one of the reasons, one of many reasons why it is the top cigar of the year for me. But I sat in lounge and I actually paired this with a craft cream soda. And if you're not, you're not into drinking the alcoholic beverages with your cigars, that cream soda and that cigar with just flavors were just so popping in my mouth. I was just like, God, this is so tasty. Cigar, the cream soda, the environment, everything was wonderful. This is a great cigar. I will not stop raving about it throughout the year. I'll be getting more of these, and hopefully maybe somebody can get one and we can talk about it together. The rest of the field is medium brands. Steve Soccer and Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, the Sin Compromiso Paladin de Soccer. Now, I will tell you right now that this Paladin de Soccer, and later on, there is also another Soccer cigar in here, which is the Nicaragua Tricky Trocken number 448. Both of these cigars are just hitting the shelves now. I and many others were able, in the media, from what I understand, were able to obtain. These are not pre-release samples for those that might be questioning, gee, what's going on. These are actually out of the inventory that have been shipped to shops. So this cigar, you're going to see the cigar on the shelves right now this week. Yeah, that Paladin de Soccer, damn good. Got to have it. It's an expensive cigar. Don't get me wrong. This is not one that you're gonna, drop a $5 bill on. This is an expensive cigar, but it is worth the price. The time it takes to smoke it, I always factor that. You got to factor that in sometimes, right? You got a 2-hour cigar and you pay $20 for it, and you got 2 hours, 2.5 hours in a lounge. You want to smoke one cigar in an hour plus, and another cigar in a little hour plus for $10 each, or you want to smoke a really fine cigar for $20 and spend the same time in the lounge enjoying that cigar. It's your money, it's your time, you figure it out. Number 3 is the Room 101 12th anniversary Toro from our friend Boofy, Matt Booth. Very, very nice cigar. Thank you, Matt, for that cigar. That was awesome. The Espinosa 601 Black Toro comes in at number 4. Okay. Platinum Nova. The Platinum Nova Sultan Box Press Torpedo. When you go to this review and you look at this cigar, it's just an absolutely gorgeous cigar. I mean, and it's a square box press, it's crisp box press, but this cigar smokes so well, so nice, and so enjoyable. You have to check that one out for sure. Southern Draw, the Manzanita. When I saw this cigar for the first time and I picked it up, I was like, this is a nice looking cigar. The band hit me fast too. There's this bright red band and it pops on a shelf, but the cigar itself is just beautifully constructed, and it burned and tasted just as beautifully as it looked. And I would expect nothing less from Southern Drawer and his collaboration over the last 8 to 10 years with AJ Fernandez. So he's been doing a great job with this. Number 7 comes in as the Fiat Lux by Luciano Morales, who is partner in Ace Prime Distribution Company. And he's worked together also with Crown Heads on this, as now that Crown Heads is distributing the Fiat Lux for him. This particular cigar, well, this background story is it actually was designed to make your mouth salivate as you puff it. And when you salivate more, you're going to taste more flavors. It's just the way it works. A little more salivation, a little more saliva, you get able to hit more taste buds, and it just absorbs, and that's just the science. So this actually is designed to actually make those taste buds make your palate salivate more so you can taste more. And you do, and it's a really awesome cigar. So you got to check it out. All right. Number 8 comes in, the Dissident Cigars Rant. Now, I was debating Dissident for a while to put it in small or medium, and I guess I really need to figure out the actual line on this now, because I do believe these are being all made by James Brown and his factory down in Nicaragua, and I think he's got his hands on this pretty heavy. But we'll get to the rest of the story on Dissident. But Dissident Cigars, that line coming out of that factory has been awesome, from the first one I had to now. So the Dissident Cigars Rant, you'll see that show up again. You'll have the next one is the Southern Draw Cigars Lady Killer. This is the one that he worked with the Limited Cigar Association. So they together, the Southern Draw team, Robert Holt and his team, they collaborated with LCA to make the Lady Killer. Excellent smoke. The next one is the Alec Bradley Kintsugi Robusto. So this is the Alec and Bradley. These are the sons. So if you notice, I had Alec Bradley on the large. I put Alec and Bradley on the medium. I got to put him in there because of the reasoning that their father is involved in the industry for a long time. They have a lot of insight into getting really fine tobaccos. They've got a lot of steps to move forward very quickly, whereas some of the small companies may not have that same ability. So, and they've been doing cigars for a while now with their father. So Alec and Bradley Kintsugi, the Robusto comes in at number 10. Hiram Solomon, this is the cigar. They did this cigar here, the Live to Serve, as a project with Cigars for Warriors. Not only is it a great cigar, but the profits go to help a great charity. So, I mean, definitely worthy of coming into the list. The Mi Querida Tricky Trocky number 448 come in at number 12. Blackworks Studio, the Hyena Corona Gordo comes in at number 13. Hiram Solomon Curamus. This is a very unique cigar. Okay, it's not a cigar that you are going to smoke and be able to know right away all the flavor that you're getting in this. I questioned it myself. I was confused. I said, what is that note? What is that spice? And I learned that it was something called vetiver. Vetiver is in kind of the lemongrass family, and that kind of family of plants. It is a unique flavor, and that's what I was getting, and that's what Eddie's wife told me, the owner of Hiram and Solomon, that it was vetiver, and I'll take a word for it. I have to get some vetiver and check it out. And then rounding out 15 is Crown Heads, the Four Kicks Copper Special Sublime 2020. Again, a cigar I got late in the cycle in 2020, so it moved into 2021. And then there's an honorable mention again for Dissident Cigars Rave. I am loving what the craft that Dissident puts out. So those are my top cigars for 2021. Thank you for paying attention with me. You can always read the article, would have made it easier, but I like to get it out there and like to have some of my ad-lib comments in there so you understand. We're going to move through 2022 now. The lots happening, like I said. I'm definitely going to be getting into my next competition in the Cigar Smoking World Championship. We're gonna break some serious numbers in Stogie Press viewership this year, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. The growth has been going up, and if it goes the way I want, we're going to hit some pretty significant milestone. And when I get close to that milestone, we'll be announcing well, a rather special wheel of wonderfulness, if you will. I expect a special prize when I get to that number, but we're going to keep that a secret until we get there. We're moving into our 8th year. Hey, man, I celebrated my 62nd birthday. How about that? I made it 62 times around the sun. I'm on my 63rd journey. And hey, we're still here. And all I can say is be safe out there. I know this 2022 seems like it's going to be better than 2021, but you know, I've talked to a lot of people over the past 2 weeks of the holiday season, and there's a lot of people that have fallen ill, and keep your prayers with them, your thoughts with them. Text them, make phone calls to them if you know them, reach out to them. You know, you may not be in a hospital, you might be in a hospital, you might just be bedridden for a while, feeling miserable, but it pays to just reach out and just let people know you're thinking about them, because this world is right now still infectious, and hopefully we're going to get past all of it. It looks very promising for 2022. So with that, I'm going to call the show. We're past the hour mark. I want to thank you for letting me run this solo. I would invite you again, like I said, to join with me. I do have some ideas for a show once a month or once every 6 weeks, where you can join in, kind of like we're going to get topics and maybe some controversial topics. And if you feel like calling in and going on the air with me and you can debate it, I'm open to opinions, and let your voice be heard. So with that, let's have a great 2022. This is Boston Jimmie signing off. Have a great rest of your New Year's weekend, and we're here. We're going around the sun one more time together. So enjoy. Thank you, everybody. Have a great time, and I'll see you on the rebound.